we're glad to have with us once again Opal Brandt from the Workforce Board. I'm going to mess up the name again. Workforce Board Development of Central Ohio. And this is our fourth in a series of 4 webinars, and Opal has been on each one, and each one she's had different representatives from her office sharing information with our listeners, and this will be one where we're just getting to enjoy listening to Opal this morning, and she has a lot of valuable information and some great expertise on her subjects, and I hope everyone will really enjoy and glean some great information from her. As you know, all webinars are recorded and put onto our website and our YouTube page. That's www.gcchamber.org. And so with that, I am going to turn it over to Opal, and thank you for taking care of this for us this morning again.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you again, Sean, for providing us this platform to really educate our employers on the wonderful resources that are available for employers through our Job Center and the Workforce Development Board. So again,
it's been our pleasure. We're glad to be able to provide that. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you. And I see two of my wonderful colleagues have joined, Brianna Nemox. James. How are you? But again, my name is Opal Brandt. I am the Director of Business Solutions for the Workforce Development Board of Central Ohio. And today we're going to be talking about training resources for employers utilizing 2 of our primary support resources, incumbent worker training dollars and on-the-job training funds. So I'm going to share my screen. You might have to give me permission.
Hold on. Yeah, let me give you permission to do that. All right, we should be okay now.
Okay. We'll try again. My old eyes, I have to get kind of close. All right, do you see it?
Perfect. Yep, I can see you. I see it.
Awesome. So again, I'm Opal Brandt. That's my wonderful profile picture and contact information. As I said, it'll just be me today. It was going to be my colleague, Wendy Murphy, but she has another presentation to attend today. So it'll just be me. As Sean mentioned, we had a wonderful 4-part series, starting with Employer's Guide to OhioMeansJobs, really helping you understand what that platform is and how it can assist you as an organization, access talent. Secondly, we talked about our rapid response initiatives. So as you know, a lot of employers right now have had to lay off. We're here to assist those employers with helping pipeline those talent to other opportunities. Then we had engaging new talent virtually. My colleagues here on the call, they were the presenters for that, and talked about how we have within our OhioMeansJobs Center and with the Workforce Board platforms to really help you engage community talent. Today, we're talking about training resources. So in that, I'm going to start with teaching you or explaining to you a little bit about the Workforce Development Board and the OhioMeansJobs structure and the model that we have here in Central Ohio, and really help you explain how we are able to access talent throughout the community and get them engaged with your business. Then we'll go into talking about the on-the-job training, what that is, incumbent working training, what that is, and how you could potentially blend those funds to help you upskill your current employees and new into your organization. So this is an illustration of the partners, the consortium partners within our OhioMeansJobs Center. So the Workforce Development Board of Central Ohio is the fiduciary agent over the OhioMeansJobs Center, Columbus, Franklin County. The operator of our job center is formerly known as ResCare. Their new title is Equis. Am I right? Is Equis. I don't have that logo yet, so it's very recent, but it's commonly known right now as ResCare, but they have a officially changed to Equus. A part of that, so the Job Center is run by Equus, and our career services and business service team within OhioMeansJobs Center is facilitated by three of our workforce anchors in the Columbus region, which are Columbus Urban League, Jewish Family Services, and Goodwill Columbus. So I thought it was important to kind of help you understand that here in Central Ohio, the Workforce Development Board has established a framework to really leverage the long time talent and the long time organizations within this community to help pipeline talent to access resources within our organization within the OhioMeansJobs Center. I should also mention that we at the board have a Workforce Advisory Council, which reaches out to other organizations outside of our three consortium partners to help make sure we're pipelining talent and touching every community within Central Ohio and Franklin County. So we want to start off with a quote again. You don't build a business, you build people, and then people build your business. And I think in recent years that we've really seen how a talent shortage or unskilled talent really has impacted business. So this particular quote speaks true to what's happening now. So the first funding resource I want to help people understand is on-the-job training. So this is essentially what it is. So when you hire someone, they come on board and they get trained within your in the employer setting. So it's really, while you're working, you're being trained. It's one of our work-based learning models. The benefit of on-the-job training through us, through the resources that we have, that you will be able to, as a business, if you hire talent that we refer to you, you can get 50% reimbursement of wages of that particular employee while the time once hired and during a training period. So for example, I'm just going to use an example as far as warehousing. So say you are working with one of our business services reps within our job center, and you say, we need talent to go in our warehouse. Once you find us this talent with this particular skill set, and commonly it's usually they have a good work ethic and they may have some experience in warehousing, but they don't have to have a forklift certification. But once we hire that person that you identify for us, we can train that person to become a forklift driver. And this is just an example. That training can be done from internally or it can be done through an outside provider. But once you hire that person that we refer to you, during that period of time of training, say that training is 2-3 months, then during that time, you can get 50% reimbursement of the wages that individual is being paid while working at your organization. And that can go up to 6 months. This gives employers an opportunity to train employees and have a training program tailored to them. It typically can increase productivity because you initially at the onset really helping augment that person's performance by their traditional orientation or orientation, that traditional new hire training that you will give someone, but also immediately put that person through a program that will give them a more advanced skill and increase productivity and higher retention rates. Some highlights of the on-the-job training, again, is the 50% reimbursement of training, and that training period can be up to 6 months. So sometimes and if you think about what you need in your organization, there might be a training program where it takes 6 months to complete. We could reimburse wages for that particular employee for up to 6 months, up to $14,000 per trainee. There's minimal paperwork involved in applying for these particular funds. Myself or a member of our team or someone within our job center can really help you at each step complete that paperwork. So it's a lot of times some employers have been turned off or leery really applying for funds like this because it may be a bunch of paperwork that may be cumbersome for them. But we're here to encourage you and let you know that that's minimal as in regard to these particular programs. Some requirements is each trainee must be assessed and found eligible It says eligible, so that really speaks to our pre-screening. So you would let our business services reps in the job center know what type of individual you're looking for, and we'll do our best through working with our community partners to source those individuals. The other piece to that is that on the job training, these individuals have to meet certain requirements to be eligible for WIOA funding. And that's something that will be taken care of for our end on behalf of you as the employer. The employer who obtains these funds has to commit to hire and retain the trainee. So we don't want to get into a situation where a business is utilizing these funds and keeping them up for 6 months and then just letting them go after that. I mean, that's not going to be beneficial for you or the employee. So we definitely want employers to look at this as an opportunity to have some cost savings when we're pipelining talent to you, that you get to train yourself and get reimbursed wages for this period of time. So these individuals are your employees, so they're offered the same amount of treatment as you would any direct hire. Because these individuals are really considered direct hires because they're on your payrolls, on your benefits as soon as you engage this employee and provide them an offer. It's just that for these referrals from us, it's an incentive for you because you will get those 50% reimbursement of wages during that training period. There's also employers cannot lay off workers from the same or similar job or use on-the-job training to displace current workers or reduce their hours, wages, or benefits. So to speak to that, we know that there have been a lot of layoffs for these unforeseen circumstances in regard to COVID-19. If you feel like you're in that situation, I encourage you still to reach out to us, because we know that there may be a good reason because of closures and things like that. And we do take that into consideration, and that's something we will work with our state partners to make sure that we're able to assist you. So this was written at a time when we didn't have these extreme circumstances. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us, even if you did have to put people on furlough or layoff during the time where you just couldn't be in business or you had to regroup. The other tool that we talked about is our incumbent worker resources, training resources. So on-the-job training, as I repeat, is for people that we source and refer to you, and that is reimbursement of wages. Incumbent worker resources are for current employees. So you may have current employees who are great. Let's go back to the warehouse example. Say you have folks who are currently a warehouse technician and working or doing great, and you need more forklift drivers. Incumbent worker training would be for those employees that are currently employed with you. And so incumbent worker is an employee who has been with you for at least 6 months. So incumbent worker training is employer driven. So it's a training for whatever that you need for your business. It provides direct financial assistance to train workers. So with this one, it's offsetting training costs. It is not a reimbursement of wages, it's a reimbursement of what it costs to train those folks. So an example could be that also that you want some of your supervisors to go through project management training, because you think that would be a benefit for them and be good for your business and increase their competitiveness as well as your company's. So we could offer project management certification training for some people that you want to go into that particular business position. So that is any type of training that is suitable for your company that provides that individual particularly a competitive advantage as you as a business and that individual. But we like it when it's like an increase of wages or career advancement opportunity.
Opal, can I ask a quick question in here? This is Sean. Just curious, in your experience, will these reimbursements and benefits work in conjunction with programs, educational programs that an employer might have on their own?
Can you give me an example so I can make sure I'm answering that well?
I'm just thinking of some of the larger companies still would offer employee education reimbursement or partial reimbursement, something like that, if they were taking a certification, getting a certification or a degree or something. I wondered if all this can work in partnership with it.
The answer is yes. I mean, it can. Okay. So sometimes incumbent worker in particular, it could be, and I come from a healthcare background, so I'm gonna give a healthcare example.
Okay.
So I might be jumping the gun a little bit. So, say for example, in the surgery department, there are the people that clean the actual the tools that you use for a surgery. There's a training program for that. So, say you have people that just clean the rooms. They're interested in becoming a decontamination technician. That's what we called it at the place that I work. And so those people who are in charge of just cleaning the operation rooms, now we know we need individuals to do more of the tool cleaning, the more of the intensive sterilization. So we could say, we want to support you three or whomever as a cohort to go through a training program that will provide you, you know. So it's more of, you could select a group, whereas through your benefits program, anybody could do it. But now you're making a targeted effort to impact your pipeline as a business to go into certain critical chronic roles, shortage roles. So yes, they can be blended, but that's something that we would definitely talk about during a consultation with the business that might be interested. Good question. So some benefits, again, I mean, which you may already know, and some people don't have, some businesses don't really have great, I shouldn't say great, but like intensive benefits for tuition reimbursement. But we all know that these type of programs increase employee engagement and retention. So if you want someone to stay with you, if you invest in them, they feel invested in you. This program provides training cost reimbursement. So we encourage cohort training. It helps a business maintain its competitive status. A good example is incorporating new technology. A lot of times when, say there's a new case management system or data system that are coming to an organization and they have to train all the employees on this new platform, that can be costly. So this is a particular resource where businesses can offset some of those training dollars. So if you need to incorporate new technology to make your business better, then this is something that you might want to take a look into, incumbent worker training. And to prevent downsizing. So this could be a long-term strategy, whereas I know what my competitors are doing around me. And I need to train up my particular workforce because we're having a hard time sourcing it. And in the long term, if I don't do this, then I might have to, you know, reduce some of my business models, business lines. And so it could cause a downsizing. So if you're thinking ahead and looking at what your talent needs are, accessing some of these resources could be a benefit to you.
Hopeful.
I'm gonna pause. Any questions?
Yes. What commitments must be in place on behalf of the employer in terms of the term of employment after receiving the training for the employee to continue their employment at that particular company? As you know, with the various companies and some of the lower pays that are offered from time to time, is there a required minimum amount that these people should be making when they sign up for this type of a program? Because as we all know, with the environment that's out there, if they get trained and aren't getting paid the proper price and are offered another dollar at some other company, they could easily just pack up their bags and head out, and then all that money seems like it's been wasted. So
yeah. So what we like to see, and let me know if I'm answering this properly for you, what we like to see for us on the job training, we like to see that at the end of training, we want to see a progression in wages, right? So it has, so for this area, we want to see at least $15 an hour. We definitely encourage, if it's more, that's awesome, for the 50% reimbursement of wages. So we would not, and that's something that I don't want to exclude anyone, especially if it's an in-demand occupation. It's definitely something we want to have a consultation about, but we strongly encourage that with OJT that it ends, that it's at least minimum $15 an hour. It has to be a sustainable living wage. There would have to be really an extenuating circumstance or reason, and that's something that we want to talk with the business about for on-the-job training. For incumbent worker, it's a little different because the person is already working there. With that one, we have we want to encourage there to be career progression. And so right now our policy states is $20 an hour. So it's for people who are making $20 or less, okay? And again, that's a conversation if a business wants to learn more, talk about what, say for example, I'm gonna give you an example, Dan. Say there's a role where a person is already making $23 an hour. They say they're making $23 an hour, and we want to train this person up into this particular area, and this is a competitive advantage for us, and they'll eventually make 26, then that's something that I think as a business solutions team, we want to take a look at and consider. So I don't want to exclude anyone, but I want to give you the framework of what the whole purpose is to really help a business remain competitive. That's very important for us, but also the person. So with both of these particular roles, we encourage that there is some type of industry recognized credential that's achieved at the end of these trainings. So did I answer your question, Dan?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. And I think I also heard you, like, if a business get these funds, do they have to keep a person for a period of time? Is that what I heard too as well?
Yes.
Okay, so the clause that we have, it should be a good clause. A business is not saying, I'm gonna get these funds and then lay them off 6 months later. Now, something happens, you know, that is outside of our control, especially in this particular environment with COVID. But during our consultation, we will hope that there's a plan laid out that these are people that we really need and that we want to retain. Okay, so the only clause is that, you know, at the end of training, you can't say that, yes, at the end of training, I want to get rid of these people, because it's not a temporary program. This is meant for full-time, long-term employment. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. So for the highlights and requirements for incumbent worker, I talked a little bit about the types of training. So it can be for skills upgrades and retraining, occupational training, or any customized training. So that kind of leaves things wide open. So that's why it's important to might have a conversation with us to talk about what your business plan is. And there might be other funds that we have in-house that would be that you can blend or be even more of a benefit than this particular program. So that's why it's important that we have those consultations. So for incumbent worker training, there is a cost sharing that employers must take part in. So if a business has 50 or less employees, we will reimburse up to 80% of the training costs, up to $2,000 per participant, all right? Now for a business with 51 to 100 employees, we reimburse 60%, and you see the progression here. For 101 or more employees, we reimburse 40% cost of the training, up to $2,000 per participant. So if you're looking at a cohort model, something like that, that's something for us to discuss as you're looking at what training provider you're going to use. But with incumbent worker training, we require and encourage that you have an outside training provider come in and conduct the training. It's just cleaner. We reimburse the cost to that particular training provider, whomever you decide. And we could help businesses kind of think about what organizations are out here, what training providers are out here, because we have we're rich in training providers in Central Ohio, which is an advantage for us. And that's something that we could help you decide which is the best for you. But again, the business may already have a training provider of choice. I want to talk a little bit about, if we touched on it, about blending these particular funds, OJT and incumbent worker training. So I'll repeat that on-the-job training is for new hires, right? Roles that you need us to help you source for, right? Through our job center, Bree and James are on the call. They will work with those consortium partners that I listed earlier to really identify people that are a good fit for the roles that you want, right? And then we reimburse wages for those. So the incumbent worker training is for your current employees. So in a perfect world, these funds should link together to provide a pipeline of talent for you. So as you're utilizing incumbent worker training, perhaps you're moving people out of a role that you still need to fill these critical positions and we'll use a warehouse example again. Say you need warehouse technicians, but you also need forklift drivers, or insert any electronic role for you. You've trained 3 people to move out of this warehouse tech role. to go into this forklift driver role, but we've got 3 more people on the ground waiting for you to come into that warehouse tech role. Those 3 people that are coming in for warehouse tech can be OJT participants and get 50% reimbursement of wages as we're training up your incumbent workers into a new particular skill set. So just think about it like that, that it could be really assist the business, really help your employees and your business with the career pathways. I invite you to really think about and have a conversation with us about the different opportunities when you're blending these particular funds. They're the same application. So if you're doing paperwork for an OJT, it's very similar in the same information we're collecting for income worker training. So those can be processed at the same time. We are also, as a board, receiving additional funds now for business to train up their employees, even employees that have been on layoff. So I don't have the authority to really give you more details on that right now, but I want to definitely address publicly that we have funding available for businesses to train employees on many short-term certificates or short-term trainings that would be a benefit to that organization. So even if these particular, as you dig deeper, may not fit for what you need, we do and could have other resources that are available to help the business. So we strongly encourage you to reach out to us and discuss what your talent goals are and talent strengths are, and we'll be able to help you really come up with a plan to access the tools that we have to train up your workforce. Are there any additional questions, Sean, or any others on the call that I can clarify about these models? I must be doing great. Okay, so if you are interested and have additional questions as you receive this information, I will share this PowerPoint with Sean. So for those of you that are listening after the event, if you are interested in receiving a copy of this PowerPoint, send it to Sean. Is that all right, Sean?
That's right. Sorry, I didn't get unmuted quick enough before. I was just saying, if you have just 2 seconds or so to review the other webinars that you've presented for us, I think people might be interested in going back and looking at some of those as well.
Absolutely. Let me speed rewind.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No worries, no worries. So again, our series included the Employer's Guide to OhioMeansJobs.com. OhioMeansJobs.com is a platform. It's really an applicant platform where you can access talent. The second one was rapid response. That's what we call the services we provide for employers that are experiencing layoff. So we really have services available for individuals that have been layoff and helping them access opportunities elsewhere. One for reemployment or for training, upskilling, to go into different roles. The third one was engaging new talent virtually. So I didn't mention it earlier, but that's really hiring events that we have virtually ongoing right now. We have them every month now. So if you're looking for talent, this is a no cost to you, where you can put your business on this particular platform and engage with people who are looking for employment. And then finally, today is our resources available for training and skilling your employees or potential employees.
Perfect. Well, I can't thank you and your team enough for all of your time and effort put into putting this together and presenting this whole series for us. I thank you very, very much. It was extremely informational and well presented, and thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, Sean, for having us. We really appreciate the platform.
Absolutely. I think I imagine that we'll do something like it down the road just a little bit and pull in some more of your coworkers and partners and do something like this again.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. Don't forget to go back and watch some of the other pieces to our webinar series at gcchamber.org. And thank you all again very much. Have a wonderful and safe day.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Bye, everybody.
Great job, Opal.
Thank you. I'm trying to hang up. I have too many screens up.
I'll see you soon.
See you, bye.